What's up guys, Jason here. In this video I'm going to be teaching you how to make a simple and efficient Minecraft Bedrock KELP fuel farm. This farm works on 1.19 and on all platforms of Minecraft Bedrock, whether you play on a phone, tablet, Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, or PC. As you can see here, this farm allows you to quickly and easily get a lot of dried kelp. Dried kelp can be used as food or used to make dried kelp blocks. Dried kelp blocks can be used to fuel furnaces, blast furnaces, or smokers. By the way, dried kelp blocks are a lot better fuel source than coal because each dried kelp block can smelt 20 items. For this farm, you'll need 8 chests, 2 sticky pistons, 2 pistons, 4 sand blocks, 4 glass panes, 2 slabs, you can use any type of slab that you want, 6 ladders, 2 water buckets, 2 kelp, 1 redstone repeater, 5 redstone torches, 8 redstone, 1 lever, 2 signs, 2 trapdoors, 10 hoppers, 4 smokers, and finally 65 solid blocks, so you can use any type of solid block that you want. A couple examples of solid blocks are cobblestone or smooth stone. The first step is to place 2 solid blocks. Then place a solid block at this spot and a solid block over here. Then break this block. After you have done that, place a lever over here and redstone torch at this spot. Then place a redstone repeater over here. Make sure the 2 prongs of that redstone repeater are facing that way. Now place redstone over here. As you guys can see there, that should create a redstone clock. Once you have created that redstone clock, flick this lever down to shut it off. The next step is to place 4 blocks over here, and 4 over here as well. Once you have placed those blocks, place 3 blocks over here. Then place 2 sticky pistons over here. Make sure those sticky pistons are facing this way. Then place 3 blocks over here. After you have done that, go to the back. Then place a block at each of these spots. Now place 4 redstone over here. As you guys can see there, that redstone should cause those sticky pistons to extend. The next step is to place sand in front of each sticky piston, and sand on top of the extended portion of each sticky piston. After you have done that, place 3 blocks over here, 3 over here, 2 over here, and 2 over here. That sand and sticky piston system will cause kelp to update so that it grows every second. The next step is to place 2 blocks over here, and 2 pistons over here. Make sure those pistons are facing this way. Those pistons will automatically harvest all of the kelp. Once you're done with that step, place 3 blocks over here, 3 over here, and 3 over here. Then place 3 blocks on this side, 3 at this spot, and 3 over here as well. Then place a block on each piston. Now place a slab at each of these spots. Then place a trapdoor in front of each slab. These trapdoors will allow you to easily replant the kelp if it ever breaks. The next step is to place 3 blocks over here, 3 over here, and 2 over here. The next step is to place 2 blocks over here. Then go to this side. Now crouch down and place 2 chests over here. Once you have done that, turn to this side. Then crouch down and place 2 chests over here. Once you have placed those chests, go over here. Then break these 2 blocks. Now crouch down and place a hopper at each of these spots. As you guys can see there, those hoppers should be facing the chests. The hoppers will collect the kelp that is harvested, then funnel them into those chests. The next step is to crouch down and place a hopper at each of these spots. Make sure the nozzles of all those hoppers are facing downwards. The next step is to break these 4 blocks. Then break these 4 blocks as well. Once you are done with that step, go to this side, then place 2 chests over here. Then go to this side. Then crouch down and place 2 hoppers behind the chest. As you guys can see here, make sure the nozzles of those hoppers are facing the chest. After you have placed those hoppers, go to this side, then place 2 chests over here. Then go over to this side. Then crouch down and place 2 hoppers over here. Make sure the nozzles of those hoppers are facing towards that chest. The next step is to crouch down and place 2 smokers over here. After you have done that, go to this side, then crouch down and place 2 smokers over here as well. Those hoppers will funnel kelp from those chests to those smokers. The hoppers below these smokers will funnel the dried kelp created by them into that chest. The hoppers below the smokers on this side will funnel the dried kelp produced by these smokers into that chest. The next step is to place 2 glass panes over here and 2 over here. Those glass panes will prevent water from spilling out the front of the farm while also still allowing the hoppers to collect the kelp. After you're done with that step, place water in each of these slabs. The next step is to open these trapdoors, then plant a kelp over here and a kelp over here. Then place a sign at this spot and a sign over here. Those signs will help ensure the water flows correctly. After you're done with that step, close the trapdoors. The next step is to go behind the farm, then place a redstone torch over here. Now place a solid block over here and a redstone torch at this spot. Then place a solid block on top of that redstone torch. Now place a redstone torch over here. Then place a solid block on top of this redstone torch and a redstone torch at this spot as well. After you've done that, place 3 blocks over here. Then place 3 redstone over here. It's really important that you create the redstone system correctly. By placing that redstone, the redstone clock will get connected to those pistons. The next step is to place 6 ladders over here. The ladders will allow you to access the top of the farm so you can easily replant the kelp if it ever breaks. I am now going to do a quick fly around so you can check and make sure you've made this kelp field farm correctly. Over here there should be the kelp chamber. By the way, it does not matter how tall the kelp grows before you turn the farm on. Over here there should be the smelting system. Those hoppers should be facing those chests. These hoppers should be facing the smokers. The hoppers below those smokers should be facing that chest. The hoppers below these smokers should be facing that chest. This side of the farm should have the ladder. The back should have all this redstone. Make sure you did all the redstone correctly. Finally, this side should have this redstone clock. I am now going to show you how to use this kelp field farm. To use it, first add some coal to each smoker. By the way, you can add any amount of coal you want, however, I recommend you add 16 coal to each smoker. After you have done that, flick this lever up. Now just wait. As you guys can see there, kelp will grow and get harvested every second. It will then go through that water into those hoppers. Those hoppers will then funnel the kelp into those chests. The hoppers below the chest will funnel the kelp into the smokers. Each smoker will smelt kelp. Kelp will be smelted into dried kelp. The dried kelp produced by the smokers on this side will go into this chest. The dried kelp from the smokers on this side will go to this chest. After dried kelp is being smelted, wait for the smokers to run out of fuel. Once the smokers have run out of fuel, flick this lever down to shut the farm off. Then collect the dried kelp. Now use the dried kelp to make dried kelp blocks. Then add some dried kelp blocks to each smoker. By the way, the more dried kelp blocks you add to each smoker, the longer you'll be able to use this farm for before having to add more dried kelp blocks. The dried kelp blocks will fuel the farm. Once you have done that, you can turn the farm on again. This farm produces enough dried kelp blocks to fuel itself while also giving you a bunch of extra dried kelp blocks. You can use the extra dried kelp blocks that you get for smelting other items. By the way, in this farm, these chests will eventually get filled with kelp because kelp is smelted slower than the kelp is produced. By the way, if you want to turn the farm off while items are being smelted, that is fine. The smokers will keep smelting kelp until either the smokers run out of fuel or there's no kelp left. Once the smokers have run out of fuel, you can collect the dried kelp. Then you can use the dried kelp to make more dried kelp blocks. If you want to get more dried kelp, you can add more dried kelp blocks to each smoker. By the way, if you need more kelp, you can turn the farm on. That will cost more kelp to be produced. The longer you use this farm, the more dried kelp you'll get. By the way, this farm should only be turned on when you're standing near it. If you're going to leave the farm area or leave the world, you should first flick this lever down to shut it off. That will prevent it from breaking. If the kelp in this farm ever breaks, all I need to do is go up here, then replant it. If the kelp in this farm does not grow quickly, check to see if there's any sand that has fallen below the sticky pistons. If there is, you'll need to break it. There should be no sand under the sticky pistons. Also, make sure you do not make this farm on a chunk border. If you made it on a chunk border, you'll need to remake it so there's on one chunk. I hope you enjoyed learning how to make this simple and efficient Minecraft Bedrock kelp field farm. Please like, comment, subscribe, and check out my other Minecraft videos. Thanks for watching.